New footage shows this is how FPV drones and Bradley Ukrainian destroys Russian troops in combat Avdiivka. Nowadays, Chechen warlord Ramzan Kadyrov's forces exhibit an impressive lack of caution in combat zones, making them easy targets for Ukrainian drone operators, as evidenced in a video released by the 30th Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces on January 14, filmed in the Kupyansk sector. The footage captures a group of Kadyrovites calmly smoking and carelessly hiding in the woods until they become the focus of Ukrainian strike drones. Accustomed to filming staged videos for social media, these soldiers often fail to react swiftly when the drones appear, suffering significant losses. In their attempts to counter the threat, the Kadyrovites even resorted to shooting at the drones with machine guns. However, these efforts did not save them from destruction. Attacks, on the other hand, also show haunting final footage of Russian squad taken 1 second before they are obliterated. It marks yet another blow for Vladimir Putin as his forces meet stiff resistance on the Ukrainian battlefield. The chilling footage captures the moment before a Russian infantry unit is blown up by a Ukrainian drone. The FPV drone footage follows a truckload of Russian soldiers as they are transported across an unspecified part of Ukraine. As the drone barrels towards them, Vladimir Putin's forces appear to realize that their fate is sealed, but one soldier aims his gun at the incoming drone while another is seen clasping the arm of his fellow comrade. Both actions ultimately prove futile as they are blown up 1 second later. It's a familiar scene 2 years into Putin's bloody invasion of Ukraine. While both sides have failed to secure a significant win on the battlefront since the war began, but Ukraine has been having some joy as of late. The war-torn country says it shot down 2 Russian command and control aircraft in a significant blow to Moscow. The Ukrainian Air Force shot down a Russian early warning and control plane that can spot targets up to 650 kilometers, 400 miles, away. While a key command center aircraft that relays information to troops on the ground in a significant blow for the Kremlin's forces, Ukraine's military chief said on Monday. The planes are fundamental tools in helping orchestrate Russian battlefield movements in Ukraine, and shooting them down, if confirmed, would be a landmark feat for Ukraine in the almost 2-year war, as fighting along the front line is largely bogged down in trench and artillery warfare. Russia has largely ensured its air dominance during the war, as Ukraine fights with its fleet of Soviet-era warplanes against Moscow's more modern aircraft. Gen. Valery Zaluzhny, the commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, didn't say how the 2 aircraft, a Beriev A-50 and an Il-22, were brought down, but Ukraine has received sophisticated air defense systems from its Western allies. Meanwhile, one of Russia's most modern main battle tanks, a T-90, was captured on video losing a face-to-face duel with a Ukrainian Bradley fighting vehicle, a far lighter armed and armored US-made troop carrier whose design dates to the Vietnam War. Drone footage released on social media channels captured fighting that is said to be on the outskirts of the city of Avdiivka, as 2 M2 Bradleys took on a Russian T-90, the most advanced and modern tank in the Russian armed forces. And as the video shows, the Bradleys essentially ran circles around it, even though the T-90 got to shoot first. The Bradley, which we cannot stress enough is not a tank, is lighter armed and lighter armored than a T-90, but in the shootout captured on drone video, the Ukrainian armored vehicles managed to outmaneuver it, hitting it with a constant, accurate barrage of rounds from their 25mm guns. Notably, the Bradleys appears to deliver near-perfect hits on the T-90 even though the Ukrainian vehicles are moving over uneven, snow-covered ground. But this is an example of the vehicle's fire control software and equipment, which automatically adjusts the aim of the M242 Bushmaster to account for both the Bradley's movements and its target. The 25mm cannon may not sound like much compared to the 125mm main cannon on the T-90, but the Bradley's M242 can fire 200 rounds per minute of armor-piercing ammunition. The Bradley fires are sabot rounds, which have depleted uranium cores, making a bullet hard enough to penetrate so-called white armor. The swift maneuvering, coordination and accurate fire of the Ukrainian vehicles also suggests well-trained crews, and the Russian tank, on the other hand, misses with its shots and does little to evade its predicament, suggesting its crew was not particularly prepared for combat. Eventually, the heavily damaged tank crashes into a tree and the video appears to show the crew still alive, abandoning the tank. But in a move befitting the anachronistic weaponry and tactics of the war in Ukraine, these older vehicles duked it out with the help of modern aerial drones as spotters and air support. The drones also fired on the tank. Video of the fight spread online on Friday, January 12, including being shared by the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense, and the war in Ukraine has been devastating for Russian tankers. Hundreds of tanks have been destroyed or disabled, and in a classic Uno reverse card move, Ukrainians have captured and fielded some of those tanks against the Russian invaders, and the brutal slog of the conflict has led to some desperate moves. With the more modern T-90s in short supply, Russia has fielded T-72 and T-54 tanks pieces from the Cold War, and that's not counting the haphazard pieces of artillery Russia is using, such as naval guns turned into mobile cannons. Russia has been renewing its efforts to take Avdiivka. Its latest large-scale campaign on the city started in October, with casualties have been heavy, particularly for Russian forces, with drone footage from December capturing corpses and bombed-out battlefields. Still, the engagement shows that even with heavy losses and having to pull decades-old museum pieces into the field, Russia still is capable of deploying more modern armor and still has several T-90 tanks.
Armata!